Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, madam. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. So, friends, for the past 15 days, we have learned to turn inwards, observing our breath, calming our minds, and touching inner silence. Now, let's reflect on something. Imagine a lamp in a dark room. This lamp gives beautiful light, but only within that room. Now, imagine we take that lamp outside. It starts illuminating the path for many. So, meditation is like lighting the inner lamp, whereas service is allowing that light to reach the world. So, today, let us explore how service completes the journey of spirituality. In the upcoming slides, I would like to discuss the concept of service in detail under the following headings. So, the first one is, what is service? So the word service is derived from the Latin word servicium, which means to serve or to attend to others with devotion. It is a voluntary work done without any expectation of name, fame, or recognition. So now, what is the difference between work and service? In both work and service, we spend time, effort, and energy. But in work, you get salary, money, or appreciation in return. You do something expecting something, and therefore there is an energy exchange. Whereas in service, there is no expectation of name and fame, acknowledgement, or recognition. You're doing it for your own joy. So, why should we do service, first of all? Service, it reduces our ego and purifies the heart. It brings deep inner peace and joy. It helps us experience oneness. Service awakens love, compassion, and humility. Our self realization happens through meditation, mindfulness, silence, and swadhyaya, whereas God realization happens only through service. Service helps to clear our karmic baggage or karma. So, to understand the importance of service, we first need to understand what is karma. So, what is karma? It is action and its consequences. Here, action means thought, word, and physical action. Whatever we do comes back to us. It is a learning tool, it's not a punishment. It's an opportunity to learn our soul lessons. So, through challenges, we learn lessons, through pain and suffering, and we emerge as evolved individuals. So, how to come out of karma? Karma has two aspects. First is learning the lessons, and then there is account settlement. So, learning the lessons with meditation and mindfulness, there is increase in our awareness and energy. So, there is increased discernment. That means we know what to do, what not to do. Therefore, we are guided by the heart and not by the mind. So, we will always take the right step. Thus, we can come out of the karmic loop. But because many people have suffered because of you, and there are still karmic residues, we need to settle our accounts. How do we do that? By doing good karmas and by doing service. So, when we let go of me and mine, that means when we are in oneness consciousness, then only we can burn all our karmas. That happens by doing service. So, how is karma and service related to soul evolution? Early souls, they focus on survival, power, money, name and fame, and they create more karmas. Whereas mature souls, they reduce their negative karmas and they do good actions. Whereas old souls have to do more service so as to neutralize karmas for many lifetimes. Now let's go on to what are the different types of service in spirituality. These are the four types. We'll go ahead with each of them. The first one is mental and emotional service. So here, kind words, compassion, patient listening, and silent support are the powerful acts of service under this category. So we need to serve without any discrimination of religion, status, or background. If a person is refusing one form of help, you need to find out some other method of helping, but you should never stop caring for the person. So this type of service, it purifies the mind and the heart. So the next type of service is financial service. We all know that sharing is self-caring. That is, whatever you give comes back multiple folds. Here, I would like to talk about the green money formula, which was given by Linda Goodman. First, you need to do the work you love, which is called the labor of love. From the money earned through this labor of love, you need to first meet your basic needs. From the remaining amount, keep 50% for yourself and give away the remaining 50% to those in need. The money you give away comes back multiple folds. So this money which is coming back is called the green money. So this the returns may not be only in the form of money, it can also be in the form of opportunities, protection, guidance, health, peace, or abundance. The next type of service is the physical service. It is done by those who have not yet come into the spiritual path or the meditative path. These are good hearted people. According to their level of evolution, they contribute to the physical service, which involves direct bodily action. This includes caring for the people's basic needs like food, clothes, education, providing shelter, laying roads, building hospitals, etc. So, physical service, it makes a person dependent. It is a temporary form of service because if you give food to somebody who is hungry, he will come back for food since he is hungry again. If you give clothes, he will use it for a year, come back. If you give education, it will be useful for this lifetime only. So, any amount of physical work you do, there is always people who need more. So, it creates a kind of dependency, and therefore, it is only temporary. The next form of service is the spiritual service. It is the highest form of service done by those who have come into the spiritual path. So it is teaching meditation and spiritual science. Or if you cannot teach, then you have to at least support organizations doing so. Spiritual service, it makes a person independent and responsible. It helps them realize their true self and empowers them to become their own masters. Therefore, as spiritual seekers, our role is to help people help themselves. Then spiritual service, it is a permanent type of service because its benefits continue lifetime after lifetime. So friends, here I would like to quote my own example. As a dermatologist, I used to do physical service at a rural healthcare center, providing free treatment and medicines to patients. But later, after coming into spirituality, I started teaching them meditation alongside the treatment. So, meditation helped them to calm their minds by reducing their stress. It improved sleep and it also strengthened their immunity. As a result, the flare ups reduced and their healing improved. And their recurrences also, it became less frequent. So, these patients, they gradually became less dependent on these medicines as well as on me. Next, we go on to the categories of service people. These are of three types. First one is the people with service intent. So these people, they have good intentions to do service, but they first take care of their family duties, their entertainments and pleasures, but and only in spare time they do service. For example, teaching meditation or music to children in free time. The next category is the service oriented. These people, they take care of their family responsibilities, but they cut down on their personal pleasures. And the rest of the time, they do service. This category people are spiritually more evolved in terms of soul evolution than the previous category of that is the service intent. The last category is the perfect masters of service. These people, they do full-time service. They put aside the family responsibilities and they serve the mankind, animal kind. And for because for them, the whole planet Earth is their family. And they just fulfill the basic needs of their family members. They are considered the Chakravartis of service. So in the physical category, we have Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, whereas in the spiritual category, we have Buddha, Jesus, Krishna, Atriji, etc. So we need to always move upward in the service category. If you are in the category of people with service intent, then you go ahead to become a service oriented person. Whereas if you are in the service oriented category, you always try to become the perfect masters of service. Now, I would like to tell you some important points to remember while doing service. So, whenever you do service, you have to do it as a pure witness. That means you're only a channel and it is happening through you. There is no I, no doer. Then do not feel pity on anybody while doing service because you and the person you're serving has the same divine spark as God created everyone the same. You need to do service for your own joy. Then service has to be done as per the level of your soul evolution. Whatever is your best possible potential, you need to focus on that. Here, I would like to quote the example of Swami Rama. He is the author of Living with the Himalayan Masters, as you all know. He was in his early 20s during the India's freedom movement, that is in the 1940s. So at that time, he was undergoing intense training in meditation and spiritual science under his gurus. So he felt a strong urge to participate in the freedom movement and serve the country physically. However, his gurus they discouraged him, saying that his soul has evolved beyond the physical service and that he has to do spiritual service. So they advised him to follow his true potential. They explained to him that by continuing his spiritual sadhana and becoming a teacher, he would not only just serve one country, but he can serve the whole of humanity and even the planet Earth. So, this was the guidance which Swami Rama received to serve according to one's level of soul evolution. So, next we go on to what is the inner transformation through service. So, every act of service it reduces our ego, increases love, compassion, and also gives us a sense of oneness. We become calmer, happier, and we become more tolerant. Service, it supports our spiritual growth and it also contributes to our overall well being and good health. It brings us a clarity in meditation and also it creates a natural detachment. So, now how service helps in self healing? The joy of service is the highest joy, which makes you balance all the other emotions. You become emotionally stable and strong. So, the more you do service, it helps you come out of all your emotional blockages and thus it helps you heal. So, if you really want to heal yourself, you need to start with meditation and end with service. So, next we go on to how service can help you in your moksha or liberation. You can see in the figure, there are three stages of liberation. In Buddhist terms, they are called the Arihant, Bodhisattva, and the Buddhahood. So when you take efforts to help yourself by meditation, reading books, Sajjana Sangatya, then you are liberated from your own self-inflicted suffering, which is called moksha or liberation. When you take greater efforts to help your family, your neighbors, your community gain their own liberation by teaching meditation and spiritual science, then you have reached a stage of parimoksha, which is called greater liberation. And when you see this whole earth as one family and take the greatest efforts to travel and teach meditation and spiritual science for the liberation of this entire world, then you have reached a stage of Mahaparimoksha, which is called greatest liberation, and that would be your final lifetime. So in the beginning stage, which is Arihant, their service is not mandated. But in the Bodhisattva and the Buddhahood stage, then service is essential. So next we go on to what is the unseen power of service. Spiritual path, no act of selfless service is ever lost. When we serve without ego or expectation, what leaves our hand as kindness, it again returns to us as grace. It may not be in the same form, but it is always comes back at the right time. So now let me share two short stories that beautifully illustrates the unseen power of service. The first one is service that returned multiple. This is a well-known inspirational story. Let's go on to the story. A boy in Scotland, he gets trapped in a muddy bog or swamp and he cried for help. A poor farmer nearby hears him and saves him. The next day, the boy's wealthy father came to thank the farmer and offered him some money, but the farmer refused. Seeing the farmer's young son working in the fields, this gentleman offered to educate him instead. The farmer's son later became Sir Alexander Fleming, who discovered penicillin. Years later, the gentleman's son fell seriously ill with pneumonia and was cured by penicillin, which was discovered by Fleming. And that son was Winston Churchill, the future Prime Minister of the UK. So, friends, whether literally true or symbolic, this story beautifully illustrates a universal truth. When service is done without any expectation, life finds a way to return it many times over, often across many generations and in ways which we cannot even imagine. Now, after hearing how service can return to us many times over, let me share another story, one that speaks about the quiet, unseen circle of selfless service. So, a joint managing director of a company, she was returning home one evening when her car tire gets punctured on a lonely road. It was getting dark and she was feeling quite helpless. Then there were many cars passing by, but nobody stopped. Finally, a car mechanic came. He calmly changed the tire, but he refused any payment, saying that he was only doing his duty. Later that night, she stopped at a small hotel on the way as she was hungry. There she noticed a waitress in her advanced stages of pregnancy, and she was working tirelessly. So, moved by compassion, she quietly left a generous amount of money under her plate with a note expressing gratitude and concern for her well being. The waitress later, after going home, shared the incident with her husband, who turned out to be the same mechanic who helped the lady earlier. So, the message here is very clear, friends. Service always returns to us, though in unexpected ways. What matters to us is to serve selflessly without expecting anything in return. So, coming to the key takeaways of this session, service is helping with love without seeking praise or reward. It is offered equally to everyone. It is meant to uplift but not create any dependence. Service, it transforms us first by bringing peace, joy, and compassion. Service, as we have seen, carries an unseen power. What we give returns to us in subtle ways, which shapes our destiny and our inner growth. Service helps to clear our karmas and it supports soul evolution. So, spiritual service is the highest form of service. Service really gives you a lot of joy. If you want to experience real joy, then you have to experiment doing service. So, thank you, audience, for your patient listening. And I thank the Meditation Magic team for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your wonderful session. Uh, we got
Thank
to
you.
know different type of services. It's yeah, good. Yeah, yeah.
If anyone has any questions or anything to share, please share.
I don't have anything to share, but thank you for taking this beautiful session. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was an informative session. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right.
Anyone want to share any experience or related to this, or if you don't have any questions, also fine.
Now, I would, if you permit, I would like to share a small experience which I recently encountered. I went to a college to take a meditation class, and I had parked my car outside. And by the time I came out, the car was totally blocked by other cars, the students' cars and the teachers' cars. So it was impossible to come out. So at maybe it was around 12 o'clock that I came out. I asked the security person. He said, "No, madam, you have to wait till evening 5. All the children, the kids, and the teachers, everyone will come out at that time only. It's impossible. You cannot even identify whose car is this, the one which is in front of me." So I was wondering now have some universe will provide some solution since I've come to do a service. So I was on a positive note. So I just kept calm, and then in a few minutes, what happened was the car right in front of me, that student, he came without, we didn't even tell him, just came out on some other work and he just go away, giving the path to me. So I was I was wondering, it was a miracle actually. It's not possible otherwise. So I just recollected this service has returned in the form of some help from the universe that I wanted to share.
Mm. Oh, nice. Yeah, we sometimes it happens, right? Like when we do like without um self
I want to
without
share
self.
one thing.
Yeah.
Now you share your experience, it just came in my mind. Like few years ago, I used to do volunteers
Yeah.
a lot, and I got so much of peace of mind and satisfaction. And one day I was hosting a big surprise party, and I don't know what happened. Universe just did everything by itself. Everything happened so nasty. At that time, I was thinking, oh my God, it's not me who's doing it. It's just
Right.
things are happening. So that's, I was correlating with the volunteer thing, or something you do good to the universe or to other people.